Hello, Williams class. For your history lesson today, the learning objective is, can I understand what the Romans have done for us? A little starter activity for you. What do these all have in common? So, as I did say, the learning objective has to do with what the Roman Empire did for Britain, so explaining the impact of the Roman Empire on Britain. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to list some of the key developments the Romans introduced into Britain. You will be able to explain how these developments have impacted on Britain even today, and you will be able to judge the most important benefits of the legacy of the Roman invasion that has been left on Britain. So, the following video is a group of local fighters that were plotting to resist the Roman occupation of Jerusalem in 0 BC. So it is a group of local fighters, so fighters that were in the local area, and they planned to fight the Romans who were trying to take over Jerusalem in that date in 0 BC. So we know that there was similar resistance from Celtic tribes in Britain. So if you think back to learning about Boudica and the Celtic tribes, they were doing the same thing with Britain. So watch this video, and then after you've watched the video, tell me, do you think the Roman occupation had its advantages? Did any good come from the Romans invading? Now, the Romans were very clever at inventing things. They were so technologically advanced that many of their inventions would not be used again in Europe for nearly 1,000 years after the Roman Empire had disappeared. Now, the Romans invented things such as, let's see, roads. They also invented concrete. I'll just move myself up so you can see. They also invented human-powered cranes, public baths, central heating, laws like the Roman Senate, which was like a group of people that would make different laws and rules up. Aqueducts, which are bridges for running water, and toilets. Let me move my camera down so you can see. So even though the ancient Romans lived 2,000 years ago, we know a lot about them and how they lived. And we know about them because of all the buildings, objects, and documents that have survived over these 2,000 years. If we didn't have these buildings, these items, and these pieces of paper from 2,000 years ago, then we wouldn't have known what the ancient Romans have done for us. Now, I would like for you to have a look at this article on the BBC. Now, let's talk a little bit more in detail about everything that the Romans did for us. So remember, they created cranes. Cranes can lift heavy materials to a required height in the safest way. They are cost effective, so that means that they are nice and cheap, well, not cheap, but affordable, and they can help jobs be finished quicker. Now, the size of them means that they can move in many ways through a construction site, and they help buildings to be built as they transport materials and equipment. So you can pick materials and equipment up and then easily take it to where you want it to go. Roads. So roads allow for transportation of people and products. Roads allow people to go to work and to school. They allow us to travel around in any country. And roads are sized to allow different vehicle sizes. So without roads, the amazing thing about roads anyway is the fact that when we were all born, roads were around anyway. So imagine a country, or imagine living somewhere where there were no roads. You can't imagine it because you've always been with them. So it's important to be grateful for everything that we have, including something which might be as basic to you as roads. Toilets. Now, toilets can help to manage human waste. They are a hygienic way of getting rid of waste in our bodies, and toilets prevent germs from getting into the environment. Central heating. Now, water can be transferred much faster and can provide heat much faster. Houses and buildings can be heated up at a faster rate, and they are lower in costs compared to electric heaters. So I think most of you in your house will have central heating, and just imagine having a house with no central heating. You would be really, really cold all the time, especially now in winter. Laws. Now, rules can make things smooth. Laws. Now, another word for laws is rules, and they can make things smooth functioning. So what rules do, which is the best thing about them, is that they help us to stay as on track to being good as possible. I'll put it that way. They tell us how to do certain things and where to do certain things. They protect the rights of an individual. So, for example, if you were in the supermarket and somebody stole money from you, then there is a law to get that person into trouble for doing that. So that's your right of having your personal property with yourself protected. Laws also punish the accused, also known as justice. So if someone has done something wrong, then because of laws, that person is able to be punished. And the reason why we call that justice is because we believe that the person they've done wrong to has been served justice. Good has been done to them because the person bothering them has been told that that wasn't the right thing to do. And laws also provide a guideline of what is accepted in a society. So similar to what I was saying before, laws tell you right from wrong. They help you to distinguish between right and wrong. So you can easily say the law that says that if you steal a car, you get arrested, that tells me that I shouldn't steal a car. Aqueducts. Now, aqueducts can be used to deliver water to people in towns. There is the famous Trevi Fountain in Rome, which is still fed by aqueduct water. Now, your 3 tasks for today are as follows. Task number 1, you are going to write down in a spider diagram the things which the Romans invented. Then, once you've done that, task number 2 is to choose which invention you think is the most important invention that the Romans gave to Britain. Now, you might need to do some more research on your choice. And then task number 3 is to make a video or record yourself stating the reason why you think that invention was the most important. Now, I'm going to show you just an example of how I would structure my mind map just to help you to understand what it should look like or what it could look like. There are many different ways of showing your spider diagram or your mind map. This is just one way. So if I look at task number 1, it says to write down in a spider diagram the things which the Romans invented. So to make it a bit more interesting, rather than have a sentence, I'm going to have a question. So I'm going to write, what did the Romans invent? Nice little question there, just to be a bit different from our normal statements or sentences. Then I'm going to draw a nice bubble around it, just like that. And now, here is where you would need a ruler. I don't have a ruler for how I'm showing you the writing on the screen, unfortunately. But if you were using a ruler, that will be actually really, really nice because it will make your work look even neater. So what I would do very simply is just draw lines out of my spider diagram like spider's legs. Now, you wouldn't draw, my advice anyway, is to just draw one line and then write something before you then start to draw other lines, because you might find that you don't have as many ideas as the lines that you're drawing. So just to make sure that your work is looking as presentable as possible and you're drawing lines for a reason, I would say to draw one, write an example, and then draw another branch to your spider diagram. So that is what I would do for task 1. And then for task number 2, when it says choose which invention you think is the most important invention that the Romans gave to Britain, I would love to see full sentences here. And if you want an example of how to write a full sentence for this, I'll give you an example here. So if it says choose which invention you think is the most important invention, I think, this is what I would write. I think the most important invention, I think the most important invention that the Romans gave to, I don't want to write on the line, gave to Britain. I think the most important invention that the Romans gave to Britain was, and then you would write your invention, and you can then write because, using our conjunctions, but also giving reasons to why you think it was the most important invention. So that's how I would structure it. I would write it in a full sentence, and I'm looking forward to seeing your full sentences as well. And please make sure if you are writing that you are writing on lined paper. Now, enjoy your history lesson today, Williams class. I will see you very, very soon.